Good morning, everyone. It's time for Muse Life, and welcome to our Wednesday morning activation reading, you guys. It's an exciting morning. Let me just settle in and let us get a little prepared for reading and set our intentions before we move into the day. I want everyone to just sit and imagine that you are all part of this beautiful, vast, energetic grid that encompasses the whole of the universe and the earth and beyond. This beautiful crystalline grid that your beautiful, amazing lights on, everyone. Set your intentions for this week as we enter into our reading. We have an interesting day today, guys. It is 6/12/2024, which is 8, and it is another 8-day, you guys. So it's all about manifesting, you guys, and it's also like bringing in some enthusiasm and ambition, as well as, you know, you might get some a little bit of some karmic cycles coming up as well, but definitely time to focus on some of the things you really want to be doing right now. 8 is ruled by Saturn, you guys, so it's really bringing in some of that, like, forward moving energy. Is really powerful, and there's a lot of wisdom and thinking and planning involved in that. Woo! I've got a few cards falling out. Let me get this one. I want you guys all to set your intentions for this week, you guys. What is it that you want the universe to let you know? Anything that we need to learn today? There's a lot definitely going on with the sun in Gemini, everyone. Gemini is really the multitasker sign. It's a really curious, self-expressive sign. So one of the things you really want to hone in on is some of that Gemini energy. Even if you're not necessarily a Gemini, we have a lot of self-expression, a lot of fast learning. We also kind of want to avoid some of the things that waste our time. A lot of times we use up all our energy to do a lot of things that aren't really doing anything for us, especially when we're trying to manifest. Definitely want to kind of just make sure we're staying focused, and some of that Saturn energy is really going to come in and help us do that, right? I have our card spread all taken out, where we are this week, and something that we've just been recently getting over and that we can kind of look forward to. And let me pick one of the cards from my beautiful mandala deck for the week. How's everyone doing, you guys? Let me know. Let me know you guys are coming from. So we also have right now the full moon's coming up sometime around the 20th, and currently today we have the moon in Virgo, you guys. Virgo is really practical and observant and very reserved. You can get a lot of stuff done with Virgo because she's really just trying to make sure she's honing in on everything, and you know, you get a lot of that kind of persistent, kind of calm energy with Virgo, which I really like. But we also kind of have to just kind of be careful not to be too skeptical or too nitpicky, because sometimes you can kind of go that route. We just really want to kind of hone in on some of the, you know, just a really nice trace with both the air and the earth sign, with both Gemini and Virgo. We got some kind of forward moving energy there, you guys. We definitely have things that are gonna get stuff done. We also have some of that patience with Virgo, which is really gonna like help us kind of like be patient with some of the things that we really need to be patient with at this time. So where are we at? Where are we today, you guys? In our spectrum sector we have, and here's some of our earth energy when I talk about Virgo, because Pentacles is all about like the earth energy, right? So here we have is the 3 of Pentacles, and 3 is really about creativity and the arts and imagination. But in this particular case, it's really like, you know, really looking, normally this is like a card for partnerships in terms of business partnerships, because usually there's you actually see that in there, but also you're kind of getting the guidance of someone who's been there, who already kind of knows what they're doing. So who's inspiring us, you guys, because 3 is all about inspiration, getting things done. Who's inspiring us today to get things done, to get the things that we need to get done in the more practical, reserved manner, like, you know, Virgo's really setting in today. I'm really feeling that sense of practicality, you guys, a little bit more stability today, especially as we move forward. Gemini is the fun living sign there too, so all month long we're going to be experiencing some of that like air energy. It's nice and light today. You can focus a little more with some of that Virgo energy. So definitely, you guys, with this card, who's inspiring us? Who can we look to for guidance to help us, you know, set in on a creative mode? You guys, I'm a YouTuber. I also look at towards a lot of other YouTubers when it comes to like things I need to do, and that inspires me to get to what I need to be doing. So it's kind of really interesting that this is coming up because I've taken on a lot more projects today, things I've never really done before. I've, you know, learned how to do some leather work. I actually made this, you guys, and I've been like, how do I do this? And trust me, right now we're really trying to hone in on some of our art and things that we need to be doing, and, you know, honing in more on our self-expression, because Gemini is all about that. Well, who helps us go through that? We need our mentors, right? We need our teachers. We need our guides. And sometimes it's just even our inner guides, right? Because we always kind of like look outside of ourselves and think that, you know, we always need someone else to really help us do what we need to do. Who's our inner guides that's really helping move this forward? And 3, you know, is like the Trinity, and there's a lot of, you know, connections in the number 3 and a lot of different, you know, religions and beliefs. So, you know, how does that number like set in for you? How does that structure balance, you know, the triangle, right? You get, you know, you have the feminine, masculine, and then this is always what I say keeps it together, the feminine, the masculine, and the soul, right? Or the spirit, or that spiritual element that really is the glue that holds it together, right? It's the foundation. Who is that for you guys? Who's really setting that up for you guys? Interesting we're coming in there. I think with Virgo, it's all about the hard work right now. Some of us are feeling it, but, you know, I think Gemini is kind of making it a little fun too with that air energy. Okay, and what have we been recently going through, you guys? What is something that we've been needing to overcome, that we've just been like, you know, just processing, alchemizing, whatever it is? And I love this. I love this. And also, look, it's the number 18, right? Today's the 8th day. So here we go. Here's some of our manifesting and also some of our karmic cycles. So here we have the moon. I love the moon. A lot of times it gets a lot of negative connotation because of, you know, it's really tapping into some of the dark aspects, the subterranean aspects of ourselves. And I think a lot of us have been doing some of the hard work. In this 8th year is also a karmic year as well. So it's things that we need to process. And we've really been like, you know, not only have we been down here, like really experiencing it all here in the earthly realm, we've also been like looking outside of it, you know, looking at it from the higher ground and really like seeing things for how they really are, right? And I really like this because we're getting a lot of that intuition, and a lot of us have really been tapping into that and really been using it as we move forward, right? Making the right decisions for ourselves and making sure that, yeah, you know, I'm doing what I need to do and looking at it from a higher plane. Because when you look at everything from a different perspective, that's when you really see, you know, how the real world works. And yeah, you can see how it is, and it's not always perfect, and there's always something chaotic going on sometimes. But you know what? We don't even have to step in to be part of that. Really, that's really what this is all about. So there's definitely a lot of water energy there, a lot of primal energy here, like a lot of earthly energy, but there's also a lot of celestial energy here too. And as we're coming in towards the full moon, we're going to get some more of that energy as we move forward, you guys. And I love this with the moon. And what's been helping us with that? What's been like kind of helping us along with that? And I really want to say this as a helper, because here we have is the Fool. It's one of my Arcanum cards to you guys, and I love the Fool. It always gets so many different connotations. It's also the Joker, you know, and 0 is obviously a new doorway, stepping into wherever it is, you know, we're moving up into or elevating, right? And I'm really seeing some of that. I'm really seeing, you know, as we use our intuition and moving forward, we're kind of doing it like not blindly, right? He's not like stepping off into the, you know, off that cliff blindly. He's using his, you know, faith in the universe. The universe has his back, because he really does. You know, there's a lot of sun energy here too. There's a lot of like Leo energy in this particular card. And once again, we have our little helpers helping us along the way, help guide, not necessarily even helping us, just supporting us, just giving us you know, just the encouragement that we need. And like I said, here we go. Once again, we have that fire energy, but he's literally carrying his load very lightly, you guys. So that's one of the things with the full. There's so many different, like, particular elements to this particular archetype, but that's definitely what I'm reading now. And like I said, zero is really opening up to any pops and all possibilities. It's opening up into a doorway. A lot of us are getting there. We know where we're going. We're moving forward, getting through some of our intuition now, just kind of doing some of our nitty-gritty hard work right now. We got the earth energy going on. That's not always so fun for everybody, but this has a lot to do with, just finding that guidance, finding your, finding those people that inspire you, that help you move forward, that help you to get where you want to go, right? Getting that, that type of energy. So here we are, we're doing the work right now. I'm sure you guys are feeling the work mode too. And it's not too bad, like I said, because that Gemini energy is definitely making it fun for us. And what's to come, you guys? I love this. A lot of threes. So we got the 3 number, right? Here we got another 3, but this is all about more about like intuition and this, everything that's deep seated inside. So now you got your 3 of Cups, so it's talking about emotions, feelings. Once again, you're bringing in that creativity with people. You're getting some artistic imagination going on there. Definitely a lot of fun. 3 is just like an inspiring card, right? And here you have it with the Cups. And at that level, so I guess here you go. We work hard to play hard. I love this, right? That's the message today. You work hard to play hard, or you just work in a balance so that you can play just as equally, right? You definitely want to stay balanced. 3 is a very balanced number, right? So here we have it, and a lot of people are really coming in to their, when you come into where you're supposed to be, when you start being more in alignment with yourselves, man, the relationships and friendships and people around you are just going to be so fulfilling. And that's what we're looking forward to. So, and this just makes sense. We're moving into the summer, we're moving into the holiday period, but we're really starting honing in on our core group, you guys, our soul tribe, right? I think a lot of us are really finding that right now. And when you do that, when you're in alignment with yourself, that's really what's going to bring in the experiences and situations that are really going to feel, and I'm just going to use the word divine for lack of anything else. It really, really feels like you're in the right place, and you'll just know everything just feels right. There's no feelings of discord or anything like that. So a lot of us are going, this is something to look forward to, and definitely in this 8 year, as we start to manifest, as everything starts coming together, you guys. I mean, no matter what else is going on, yeah, we got to do the work. Yeah, there's, we got to do these things that just seem like it's just like our day-to-day earthly things. But that's just in the earth. But in the spirit and the ethereal, there's a party going on over there, you guys, because the universe is like, hey, she's on track. She's doing what she's supposed to be doing. Everything kind of heading that way. And the situations and things that come into your life, you guys, will be amazing. And it's different for everyone. Some people might think it's a cruise or trip to the Mediterranean, but some people might just think it's just as simple as just having a barbecue with your friends on a weekend. So what is really that amazing thing that's starting to happen for you guys, especially that's coming into fruition. So I think this is all really, we're all kind of heading there, you guys. When you're, I've been saying, when you're in alignment with yourself, you're really going to start finding that soul tribe. Things will start kind of making sense to you. Things will start really starting to fit. The puzzles and the pieces of your life will start to fit. And what will help us, or challenge it as well. And here we have is this Knight of Swords. And Swords is all about mind and intellect and how we think things. And you guys are really you guys are really just game on when it comes to what is going on in your head and what you're allowing to go on in your head, you guys. I always say, it's an everyday battle. How do you experience life, and how do you think about things, and how do you continue to, be in alignment with yourself when challenges after challenges come. Well, God, that's why there's the Knight in this deck, because it's not always about planning and thinking, you know, as much as like Virgo wants to do that sometimes, it's also, and this is great because, you know, Ceres is, you know, also air, which is like Gemini season, you guys. Are you really, you know, motivated to do this? And it just takes some mental work to get things done, to get to the, you know, place where you want to be, right? To express yourself the way you need to, and to be able to, like, you know, find the opportunities that are for you. And I tell you guys, you have to constantly, I mean, it's not like a fighting battle, but, you know, sometimes you got to constantly do the work, constantly do the hard work to bring you where you need to go. Because, yeah, we're going to make a lot of mistakes here in this earthly plane, but it's how we think about those mistakes and how we think about how we're going to move forward from them that really matters in the end, right? As we move forward. And I love this card. You got a lot of that Gemini energy, the really like self-expressive, going, you know, multitasking person, adaptable, and also very persistent and really just trying to, you know, achieve that. And it all starts here. All starts with your mind and how you think things and how you let it navigate you through what you need to be doing. I love this, you guys. It's a nice, like, you know, nothing too challenging, nothing too crazy, but it is just a quick little insight on this week and how we're going to move forward, you guys. So here we go. You know, definitely starting to tap in. We're really honing in on our intuition, you guys, and like really, like, you know, starting to trust it too, right? Yeah, and kind of, you know, trusting in the universe that it has our back. We're doing it. This is work week, you guys. Whatever you need to accomplish, Virgo's gonna kind of get us a little stable here and just get things done. Because sometimes, you know, we kind of need to do the hard work. Earth signs always kind of remind us, hey, we need to go in and do this and get it finished. Because, you know, us sun signs and air signs are just kind of like, just kind of having more fun being inspired than anything. But as we move forward, you guys, we got some of that water energy and then start really digging deep on, you know, what's really fulfilling us and really going to bring us joy as we move forward. And keep remembering, it's a constant work, constant battle. Use your mind. Use your mind to help you get where you need to go. And what... I lost the card. I'm just going to pull another card because I think I lost one. But it will help us through this week. Something to inspire us, you guys, as we move forward. And here we got communication. It is great because you know what? That is the net with the air signs, especially Gemini. They're all about self-expression and communication with other people. And this is what's going to make those relationships work, you guys. This is really what's going to make it tap in. And Gemini is all about that. So the frequency of communication supports our ability to exchange information in many different forms. It reminds us of every piece of information, both incoming and outgoing, through our heart chakra, okay? The center of our truth, right? To stay in the flow of source and balance of exchange. I really love that communication. And sometimes it doesn't necessarily have to be audible. You know, it could be just like a sense or a feeling. We communicate in so many different ways. Even the way we don't communicate is a form of communication, right? So I love this. And, I was one of the things I was thinking about. I was like, for some weird reason, I was thinking about like speech and words and what comes out of my mouth. And and I know this is obvious, but I was really in awe about it because I was like, wow, what we say, these words, we don't think about this as often as we probably should. The things that come out of our mouth, you guys, is literally a representation of the whole, everything that's going on here, everything that's going on here, and the rest of your body. So think about what's coming out of your mouth. How are you communicating with others, people? What are you saying? What the words? It's a reflection of everything going on in your life. And I know sometimes people say weird things and they're like, oh, I don't really mean it or whatever. They're like, yes, you do. Anything you say is intentional, regardless of whether you know you mean it or not. So, and call other people out too, because sometimes people are saying things and they're like, oh, I was just saying something or I was just joking. You know what? Words have power. There's a reason why they're used in spells. There's a reason why they're used in prayer and to manifest. Every single word has power. And even when it comes to numerology, look in the ancients, the Judean religions, words and the vibrations of these words and especially the intent you put into it All has power, you guys. So just remember that. Remember, communication is so important, and that's literally like what's going to help heal or break whatever kind of, you know, relationships you have with other people. Just what's, you know, literally watch what's coming out of your mouth. What are you saying? How are you representing yourself, right? So I love this, you guys. I hope you enjoyed this reading. I do private readings as well. You can always send me a text if you are interested. We will be moving into the full moon. I have a few events coming out, and I will be posting that. We're going to be in San Antonio at the end of this month doing an amazing supernatural event, which I'm excited about. I have some wares, you guys. I've been making things. So I'm excited. I hope you guys can all come out, have a reading, or maybe get some wares. I definitely do a lot of work on them. I have crystals as well as some jewelry that I make as well, and I post that on there as often as I can when I have time. I want to thank you guys all for coming out and sharing this energy with me. If you just hopped in right now and you missed our reading, they do have a replay immediately after this, so I hope you can at least watch this, be inspired, share what's been going on in your week, and you guys all have an amazing one. And I will see you next week, if not the full moon will first, whichever comes first, you guys. You all have an amazing weekend. Bye bye.